Hello there my fellow Vikings, what's up? I'm Ironside Gamer, and today in Assassin's Creed Valhalla we're going to be looking at all of the famous faces from TV and movies that are in the game. Something a little bit different, but let's get into it. And just before we get going, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but just to say a massive thank you to everybody who helped me reach 100 subscribers on YouTube. This feels like an absolutely massive achievement for me. And yeah, let's just keep it going. Do let me know what you guys want to see in the comments, future games to cover, anything from Assassin's Creed Valhalla you want to see. Just let me know and I'll do my best. And without further ado, let's look at all of these famous faces in the game. And something I've mentioned in my previous videos is that there are loads and loads of similarities between Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the two TV shows The Last Kingdom and Vikings. And in fact, many of the actors in The Last Kingdom and Vikings you can find in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Starting with, of course, the fantastic actor who plays Ivor, Magnus Brunn. You'll obviously recognise this ginger legend as Canute from The Last Kingdom, who has a pretty decent role throughout seasons 3 and 4. I can't really think of anybody better to play Ivor, so hats off for Assassin's Creed Valhalla on choosing this chap. And sticking with The Last Kingdom, we have the fantastic Harry Mcintyre, who plays Ethelwald in The Last Kingdom and stars as the character Hunwald in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. A great fit if you ask me, and I won't give any spoilers away, but oh, this character. Another fantastic actor from The Last Kingdom is Bjorn Bendetson, who plays Siegfried in The Last Kingdom and stars as Quixote and Finir in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This guy is absolutely hulking in The Last Kingdom, and you can really tell it's him with his really deep voice throughout this game. Now, one of my favourite characters from The Last Kingdom is of course the sassy Heston, who is played by the fantastic Jet Lawson. And Jet Lawson happens to star as Halfdan and Thor in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm really glad they chose this guy. Any interaction I get to have with him in this game is an absolute treat for me. And one of the last stars from The Last Kingdom is again the fantastic Thomas W. Gabelson, who plays Gunnar in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but you'll recognise him as Guthrum from The Last Kingdom, who stars in the first season. If you didn't know, The Last Kingdom and Assassin's Creed Valhalla almost follow the exact same timeline, hence why you'll notice a lot of the same characters appearing in the show and in the game. Now, moving on to the show Vikings, we have a lady called Gaia Weiss, who plays Fulke in Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Porun in Vikings. Now, this is one of the best characters in the game as far as I'm concerned, a real enemy for you to sink your teeth into. They've also chosen Eric Madsen, who plays Guthrum in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and you can find him in both Vikings and The Last Kingdom as some minor characters. And sticking with Viking-based shows, if you've ever seen the hilarious comedy Norsemen on Netflix, one of the main characters is played by the brilliant Care Conradi, who happens to star in Assassin's Creed Valhalla as King Styrbjörn and Faravid. This chap plays the hilarious Orm in Norsemen, who's one of the funniest characters. If you haven't seen this series, highly recommend you go check it out if you're a fan of comedy and Vikings. Which leads me on to the other famous faces that you may have seen in TV but not in Viking-based shows, starting with Tom Lewis, who plays Alfred the Great in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You might recognise this good-looking chap from the recent show A Discovery of Witches on Sky. And another one to look out for is Carlo Ratta, who in Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes on two roles as Basim and Loki. This chap is everywhere, from films such as Saw, The Boondock Saints, TV shows such as Grimm, Jane the Virgin, but you may recognise him from Breaking Bad as one of Gustav's key scientists. We've also got another recognisable chap called Andrew Shaver, who plays Stoey in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You might recognise this guy from TV shows such as Rain, Star Trek Discovery and Anne with an E. And funnily enough, if you look on IMDb, you'll notice that a lot of the cast actually have minor roles in the fantastic film Eurovision Song Contest, which is obviously set in Norway. I just love the fact that all of these guys, they're obviously appearing in the same sorts of shows. Go Assassin's Creed Valhalla! And lastly, you might recognise the fantastic star of British TV, Mark Bonner, who happens to play King Ceolwulf and Kinnon in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've literally seen this guy for about the past 10 years all over British television. Now I know I haven't covered all of the wonderful voice actors, but I wanted to highlight how many of them are already from Viking-based TV shows. And if you've actually seen some of these TV shows, you'll notice the similarities between the game and the shows. This character, for example, Leofric, is in The Last Kingdom as the character Leofric. They also look similar. Or maybe that's just me. Who knows?
So that's it. That was a long day.